Hey folks, back with another video. Let's dive into what stories got my attention today. Starting with the Caucus region. It seems no breakthrough in the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict has been reached as both sides are showing signs of not compromising. Now both countries continue to accuse each other of breaking the truce, and reports are coming out that Turkey has been sending Syrian opposition fighters in the region on in Nagorno-Karabakh. Now this has been confirmed by the Syrian War Monitor and the Syrian-based opposition activists. Now with the escalations looming in the background, one particular statement by the Defense Ministry must be brought into the attention of the general public. Now, the Defense Ministry of Azerbaijan talked of their missile system that could target the Armenian nuclear power plant, which the Armenians had called, and I believe rightly so, something genocidal. Now, there has to be a way to get the two countries on the table. I believe that both countries need to make concessions for any kind of peace in the region. Hopefully, something can come out in the coming days or weeks. Well, moving on, the anti-government protests were held in Bangkok. Now, the demonstration, which were major, were held at the Democracy Monument, and they were organized to call to an end to Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha's administration, a charter amendment, and the reform of the monarchy. Now, the protesters started gathering at 8 a.m. instead of 2 p.m. as was originally planned. Now, according to the Royal Thai Police, about 15,000 police officers were deployed on the Wednesday's demonstrations. And at about 1:30, the protesters began removing pot plants on the steps of the Democracy Monument. The protesters then moved after some negotiation with the authorities and reached the government house at around 6 p.m., filling the Phitsanulok Road. Now, tens of thousands of people gathered in the area, and they are expected to remain there overnight. Now, so far, it has been peaceful demonstrations, and both the protesters and the authorities have played it cool. And hopefully, cooler heads will prevail, and the whole matter can be sorted out in a, let's just hope, a peaceful fashion. Moving on, the South China Sea Strategic Situation Probing Initiative, a Beijing-based think tank, recorded 41 U.S. flights over the disputed South China Sea alone, an additional 6 over the East China Sea, and 13 over the Yellow Sea, making it a total of 60 flights, and that all happened in the month of September. The report also said that the September numbers were roughly the same as July and August. Now, these moves in the region are dangerous, especially on the South China Sea, as the whole waters are disputed by all sides in the region with overlapping boundaries with each other's claims. On top of that are the fact that the Chinese have some artificial islands, and we never know what might we find in the future. Now, I do agree that showing strength is a good idea as long as it is used as signaling credible threat. However, if during one of these exercises something goes wrong, then the negotiation dynamics change, as well as the whole narrative around our relation with the Beijing and the Chinese Communist Party. We need to do everything we can to show that we are on the path of right and that we are not in any way belligerent. Now, moving on to the north of this region, well, basically, they're effectively the same region. It seems that Beijing has started a new campaign against Taiwan. Beijing has accused Taiwan of doing spying. Now, Chinese state television has shown what it says are detained Taiwanese spies who have been operating in China and confessing to their crimes. Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen said the island will not provoke and will defend itself. Taiwan says that China is framing and entrapping people, and and they're putting people on television to confess to crime before going to trial is a serious breach of proper legal process, something the rights groups have long criticized Beijing for doing. Now, it is to be noted that both sides have long accused each other of running espionage networks, but considering the environment, it is more likely that Xi Jinping is doing this as a distraction from his failed policies. And I think one of the strategies we should in the West adapt is to point to Xi's failure, both internationally and domestically. And I think this is the path and this is the strategy that we should hold to. Expose the Chinese Communist Party of both corruption, incompetence, and get them to apologize to their own people, not first, before anyone. Let their people see that their government is supposed to be responsible to them first. Well, moving on to some good news, in my opinion. A Russian Soyuz rocket launched NASA astronaut Kate Rubins and Sergei Ryzhikov and Sergei Kotsvirchkov of the Russian space agency Roscosmos to the International Space Station on Wednesday. Now, the spacecraft began a 3-hour journey to the space station from Baikonur Spaceport in Kazakhstan at 10:45 a.m. local time. Now, the journey marks the first time a Soyuz crew has taken the fast track, a 2-orbit rendezvous path to the space station. Now, these are some of the things that I like. I like to see these kinds of cooperation in the future where different countries bring their pool of talents to advance our knowledge and in the process build stronger relations. Well, that's it for this video. If you like the video, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for future updates. Write in the comments your thoughts, criticisms, and anything I might have missed. I'll see you in the next video.